An uproar yesterday by the CORD coalition has seen the IEBC come out to defend their action and break it down for us. But joining us from our city center studios is political analyst Anthony Chibagenge. We have seen the IEBC break down the numbers for us, give explanation. What does this mean for us and for the CORD coalition, of course? Analyst joining us from our city center studios. Anthony, we've seen the explanation, of course, by the IEBC. Where does this leave the CORD coalition as of now?
Thank you for inviting me to your studios. It's a little unfortunate because I can't get you clearly.
Yes, Anthony, my question to you is we have seen what the IEBC has told us and broken down the numbers for us for the Okoa coalition or Okoa Kenya initiative. Where does this leave the CORD coalition given the amount of uproar we witnessed yesterday from them?
Okay, now first I would like to say clearly that IEBC seems to be losing credibility because of the way they've handled this particular matter. You realize that since CORD submitted their Okoa Kenya signatures and all the other documents that they needed, the IEBC decided to take longer than required to be able to get back to the CORD coalition to advise them on the way forward. And when it took too long, CORD decided to go to the offices, to the IEBC offices, to be able to get what was really happening. And IEBC at that point decided to say that the CORD had submitted hard copies of the materials that they needed, and they needed a little more time, and that was beyond almost 6 months. No time again, IEBC came up with a few figures here and there saying some of these signatures, some of these signatures and names were not visible, and all the other details that they've given. Yet, a few days before IEBC gave their statements, you realize we had the leader of majority, government leader of majority, and who is Aden Duale, and my friend Sakaja, clearly saying what IEBC came to say a few days later, which means there were discussions that happened behind the curtains between the government, that is the Jubilee coalition, Sakaja, Duale, and the others, and the IEBC, because the statements were actually in tandem. That means, as the CORD coalition states, we cannot go into the coming election with the same commission as a referee for the elections that we are going to have in 2017.
Now, Anthony, of course, as we are saying, the timing was suspect given Jubilee leaders had said the same thing they have said. Where do we go from here? We have 16 months off to an election period, and not so credible as perceived by some people, commission for elections.
When you ask that, where do we go from here? First, I would like to take you back a bit. You realize we had numerous by-elections in this country, which means we had an election that was not credible, which means all the wherever we had by-elections, other than the ones they recently instigated in Kajiado, Malindi, and Kericho, all the others showed that IEBC was either compromised or was complacent, which means still there are credibility issues. And hence, as our CORD leaders are saying, we need to get an alternative referee to this election. And since it looks like the tyranny of numbers works in Parliament, because the only way you can get out this particular IEBC that is so seriously supported by the government in place is through an act of Parliament, it means definitely the tyranny of numbers in Parliament will be able to withstand and will be able to ensure that the IEBC remains in place. And when in any game, when one side of let's say a team complains about a referee, it means there are credibility issues. And hence, we quickly need to form the two sides of the government and the opposition need to come together to be able to come up with a team that we have a few members from the opposition and a few members from sponsored by the government, so that they can come together and be able to form a credible organization that both sides of the divide can believe in. Because as
Thank you very much. Thank you.